So yeah, just find a comfortable position. You could be lying down or seated, or you could stand, whatever your body is recommending. And really make sure that you are comfy in a position that allows you to relax. And if it feels okay to close your eyes, do that just to make sure that you can really pay attention to what's happening in the interior. So I'll sprinkle in fire horse things probably throughout the next couple of weeks in my newsletters and in classes. But for now, what I want us to notice is the energy that we're carrying within. And within that energy, I imagine that there's an energy that is protecting you from things that you want to avoid. And maybe also inspiring you towards things that you would like more of, or that you'd like to move towards. We're just leaving the energy of the yin wood snake, which was a much more internal kind of year. We were doing more internal work. We were really being, we were asked to confront what was no longer supporting us and being pushed to release that, to shed our snake skin when it was holding us back. And we did all that work in preparation to enter this next year, where as we did the shedding, we maybe could clarify a little bit more what mattered to us and what didn't matter. And the energy of the horse is yang in contrast to the yin. It's outward moving. There's momentum and effort. There's change, really transformation. And so as we enter that year, it would be easy to be swept up in the energy. If we don't have clarity on our own values that we can carry through, then we might just be kind of like tumbled along. Yeah. So for now, we'll use our body as a little place of research, just playing with the signals and the energy that is already present for us. And perhaps help us get a little more in touch with what feels most supportive. Good. And I appreciate that we're all not rigid or still. You may bring a little movement into your body. If you're comfortable to keep your eyes closed, do that. But using your movement just to get in touch with the sensation of your body. Notice where your attention takes you. Notice if the sensations come very quickly with evaluations or judgments. And if you are noticing that, it's very normal. But there's also an aspect that we could develop a little bit here of curiosity. So as you find a loud sensation, maybe a judgment shows up, and then get into the raw data. What is it? What is its temperature? Is there a memory attached to it or an emotion? Maybe you see colors or pictures, and just You don't even have to understand it, but this is starting to learn the language of the body. Good. And we'll be here for just a few more minutes. And as you're doing your research, continue to move, just noticing if you reach an arm, a new sensation arises, and maybe a new story, new data. And you can let your interest guide your choices. We all have things that we're maybe curious about or working on. Yeah. And just checking in once in a while if the interest is very obviously conditioned, if there was something that you were taught and that's what's guiding you. If you notice that, you can just check in and see, is it an interest that's truly mine or was it put on me? Nice. Beautiful. We'll just take about 2 more rounds of breath to explore on our own. And then as you're ready, if you want to come along with what I'm doing, you can keep doing what you're doing. But if you want to come along, come on down to your back. Go ahead and just lie down. And once you're down, take your hands to your rib cage. And with your whole palms, just kind of palpate along the ribs. Just feel the landscape of your rib cage. And when you're ready, you can find a place to rest your hands and then take a breath in and notice the movement under your hands. Take a couple of breaths, just exploring the movement as if your total attention is in your palms, receiving. And feel free to move your hands to various parts of your thorax if you're wanting to feel movement differently. And then switch your attention into your lungs. So on your next breath, see if you could feel the movement within the breath, inflating the lungs and stretching from the inside to push the rib cage. And then the exhale to release the air. And just taking a few more breaths with the focus into your lungs. And next, bring your hands up to your sternum, just under your collarbones, the ribs around the collarbone area. And again, just taking a breath and noticing movement under your palms. And maybe you could also feel the ribs moving in the back, pressing up against the floor. Exploring that for as long as you'd like. And you also have the option to again move to the interior. So as you breathe, feeling the inside of your rib cage or the lungs at the top. And the fascia of our lungs is also forming the fascia that creates our throat and our thyroid. And so maybe for a couple of breaths, notice the movement of your throat. And as you observe the movement and the sensation of your throat as you breathe, notice too if there's any kind of hesitation or restriction or emotion. And we're just observing as we use our breath and any gentle movement to explore. And of course, you can stay with a breath practice, but if you'd like to move on, take your arms down at your sides, just wider than your hips. So if you were on your mat, your hands would be maybe just off of your mat. Bend your knees and plant your feet out to the outer edges of your mat as well. Your knees could prop together. And push your shoulder blades against the floor and feel how it opens through the collarbones and maybe the front of the throat. And then as you push your shoulder blades down into the floor, slowly rock or reach your knees to the right. Really plug into the left shoulder blade, feeling a gentle stretch, and then slowly turn your head to the right as well, opening behind the ear and the throat. Coming back to center. Reestablish the connection through your shoulder blades in the back of your heart, and then send your knees slowly out to the left, plugging the right shoulder down. And as you anchor that right shoulder, you might stretch in your head, turning your chin to the left and back to center. You can keep going from side to side if this is feeling good. And although we've introduced some new choreography, I'd like you to build off of what you've discovered with your lungs and your ribs and your throat. If you made a connection to a sensation or a quality of movement, let's keep building off of that. Nice. Good. You can keep going for as long as you'd like. If you're still with me, when you feel about even, you can draw your knees into your chest. Just giving your lower back a little stretch, hands to your knees and rock side to side. And then rocking yourself all the way up. Good. Make your way onto your hands and your knees. Have your blocks nearby towards the top of your mat. Actually, let's use our blocks right away if you have them. Put them in their low setting with your palms underneath of them. So coming to hands and knees with your hands right on your low block. So just make your hands or your arms feel a little bit longer. Press the floor away and widen across your back. And then keep that feeling of pressing your palms into the blocks and draw your shoulder blades together. And then push your shoulder blades apart. So nice scapular push up here. Just feeling the slide of your shoulder blades and like we're warming up the musculature between the shoulder blades, the back of the heart. And you could keep it really simple and just focus on those shoulder blades right now. or add a little cat-cow movement. So as you squeeze your shoulder blades together, drop your belly button towards the floor, send your head and your tail up. And then as you widen and push your shoulder blades apart, tuck your tail, tuck your chin, and round. Draw the shoulder blades together. Keep pressing your palms into the floor or blocks and extend. And then round your spine, widening through the scapula. Tuck chin, tuck tail. A couple more on your own. Feel free to add your own personal touches. Again, listening to what the body is wanting. Notice what feels supportive or interesting for you. As you're ready, come back to neutral. Keep your hands on your blocks, walk your knees an inch back behind you. So you're just slightly more forward. Good. Plug into your hands a lot and especially push into your pinky fingers and sit back towards your heels. As you sit back, look forward. So you're sending your heart down and your throat gets a little stretch. And then use your palms to pull yourself back up to the start. Engage a little more through the underarms by shifting your hips and your shoulders forward. And then as you're ready, you can sit back towards a sort of like a puppy hybrid pose. I don't know, my hips are going further back than puppy, but you want that extension in your upper spine. Nice. Coming forward again. Now, if this is feeling good, but you wanted to challenge yourself a little bit more, the start of it is the same, keeping your hands plugged down, pull forward. Now, as you begin to sit back, tent your fingertips, plugging down like spiders, and sit in your puppy. And it may just change that feeling of stretch a little bit more in your shoulders. Go with what feels good. I like to plant my hands to pull forward. It just feels more stable for me. If you wanted to try fingertips, you could do that too the whole time. Good. One more time, pull forward and then back. And notice your breath and use your breath to help stretch from the inside. Now, next time that you go back, pause, still engaged through the arms, plugging through those fingers, and rock your shoulders a little bit left and right. And just clean into your armpits. I love a good armpit cleaning moment. Take a very intentional in breath to stretch into the backs of your lungs as you hold this stretch. And then exhale to pull forward. Return to your shoulder push-ups, sliding your shoulder blades together and apart, kind of like a reset for the shoulder. If you want to sprinkle in some cat-cow while you're doing that, you can do that too. Go with what feels good. And of course, this is the foundation of the movement, but you can add your own bells and whistles to it. Cool. Let's flip our blocks up to their high setting and just step your right foot forward for a classic low lunge. Squeeze your legs together. Half monkey pumps is what we're doing. So be sure to kick your front heel down into the ground. You can pull forward and then keep kicking your heel into the ground as you sit back. Active stretch through the hamstring on your front leg. If you like a little extra tension on the hip flexor, then as you come forward, keep your stomach muscles contracted and slightly swipe your back knee forward. Great, let's be here for a while. As we keep repeating the movement, just notice if you have an impulse to shift some direction one way or the other. Notice if you have some new sensations waking up. And we start to discern what is kind of like good effort, supportive effort, productive effort. I said good and I wanted to take it back. Good and bad are words I don't know, I don't think they're actually all that descriptive. But supportive and productive versus maybe unproductive, unsupportive. Great. Next time you come forward, hold your lunge, stacking your knee right over your ankle. Tuck your back toes and lift that back knee up. Just feel what it's like to bear weight. Let's sweep the right arm up into a twist. Take your right hand behind your head. Press your head back into your hand. And then spin your chest down towards the floor, or try to spin your right elbow to your left elbow, turning in. Keep pressing your head into your hand and open back up again. Press your feet into the ground, make your legs strong as you spiral back in and spiral open. 2 more times. Feeling into the back of your lungs as you round and the front of your chest as you open. Last one. Opening all the way back up. Stretch your arm up and then sweep it down. Take your hand to your block, spin your back heel flat and come into a warrior 2. Take your block with you. So warrior 2, we're holding on to our tall block. Shift your weight onto your standing leg and see if you could just pick up your back leg. And then bend your knee and step it back again. Good, just play with that transition a little bit, finding your balance. And then on the next one, find your balance on your standing leg. And explore the mobility of your hip. So just lifting the leg and lowering it. I like a nice flex of my ankle here so my knee feels strong. A wall can be a really helpful friend for some balance. Keep a micro bend in your standing leg and then lift your back leg up as high as it feels comfortable and productive. Hip down and plant your block to the floor. You're in a half moon type position. We made this up yesterday in class, or I've done it before, but anyway, Sarah, you're like, I did this before. So you're holding and we're going to do a little swivel. Turn your hip down towards the floor and open it back up again. Woo! Now, if this feels frustratingly challenging, there is an option again to be a little higher and use the wall. I think that's like a really nice option. Or you can also do a version of it kneeling, which may feel more stable. So we'll be here long enough for you to have your sampler platter of movement. I hope you can feel that we're getting into the hips, both with strength and stretch. Every version, and maybe even versions you've made up that I haven't given you, they're all welcome here. Oh, starting to get a nice burn in that hip. And then go ahead and step back up or come out of it. Nice. I don't have a pretty transition for this. Let's just come back down to the floor kneeling and step your right foot out to the side. Toes are pointing straight ahead. So we just worked our hip, our gallbladder, squeeze the legs together. and sit back. A nice classic liver pullback for us here. Beautiful. Shift forward and back. Keep a little bend in your straight leg. And you can explore whatever is interesting to you, but it might be kind of fun today to put your attention into your pelvis and just notice the position of your pelvis. Is the tailbone tipping up towards the sky? Is it wanting to round? Is it tipping to the left or to the right? Okay, so get that information. And then explore some options. So if your tailbone is tending to tuck, what would it feel like if you arched your tailbone up? If your tailbone is tipping off to the left, what would happen if you tipped it a little to the right? Take a couple more here. Stay kneeling on your left knee. With your right leg out to the side, challenge yourself to pick it straight up. Well, that was fun. Put it back down. Let's try that a couple more times now that you know what I'm doing for you. Pick it up, lower it down, just for challenge time. We're in gallbladder challenge moment again. And then keep it lifted and sweep it straight behind you. My hands are still on the high blocks. That feels really nice for me. As you exhale, round your right knee to your nose, flex your spine, and curl, tuck tightly up into a ball. I want you to find almost like a little throat lock. You know, when you do the Ujjayi breathing, you lock into your throat a little like a Darth Vader breath. Hold that, and then extend your leg back and start to extend your chest and your chin forward. Keep closing your throat slightly. Pull your knee back in towards your nose, round your spine. I like an exhale to extend. It helps me keep that tension that we're stretching through. Try it a couple more times. Explore it in your own timing. Maybe one more time. So feeling that column of connection from the throat through the chest, down the abdomen to the hip flexors and beyond. Nice. Plant your knee. Set your blocks aside just for a moment. Come on down to your belly. Let's take a Sphinx pose, pressing down into your forearms. We've done quite a bit on the right side and the left has been supporting us. Just notice what you notice having worked and moved a lot on one side. Engage your center by sliding your elbows towards your hip bones and tucking your hip bones towards your elbows, and then round your spine into a cat. Again, building on the movement that we just did. Can you feel the contraction through the front line, a contraction into your throat? And then as you keep swiping your elbows and hip bones together, extend through your spine into your Sphinx. And if working with the throat and the breath is of interest to you, put your attention there. Move in a way that helps build awareness and curiosity. Rounding again when you're ready. And extending as you're ready. Go a few more times And again, just collect some information. Like, for example, I'm noticing as I extend, I feel almost a little catch in my throat at a certain point. And I'm curious about that catch. I'm like, is there more attached to that? Is it a physical sensation? Yes. Is there something else that's also attached to it? I'm just staying open to get some more information. As you feel ready, go ahead and sit back in a child's pose. Oh, give those shoulders a rest for a moment. Bring your attention back into your breath, into your lungs. In this new orientation, where do you want to send the movement of your breath? And pulling forward, coming back up to all fours. Step your left foot forward and grab your blocks for our half monkey pumps on the other side. Weave the legs together and go ahead and extend through that front leg. Nice. I'm not giving as much instruction on this side. I feel like I gave you a lot of information on the last side, but I encourage you to use the quiet to really listen for yourself. Trust your own creativity and your own instincts here. Take a couple more or keep going for as long as you'd like. And then when you feel ready, shift forward, find your lunge, tucking your back toes and lift your back knee up. Keep your feet really firmly planted. And as you're ready, take your left arm up. Place your hand behind your head, giving your head something to press against, waking up the back of the spine. And then spin your elbow towards your other elbow, turning down, rounding your back up. Press it open. We did about 4 on the other side, so you could go roughly the same, or of course, if your body wants to do more or less, you should honor that. When you're ready, open your arm all the way up. Ooh. Taking your arm down, grab your block, spin your back heel flat, and then come on up to a warrior 2 position, holding on to your block. And just play a little bit with weight transfer here. So once you're there, shift towards your front foot and pick up your back leg, and then maybe bring it down again. There's also a nice time to find your wall, your ledge, see what's working for you here. And then finding your balance, maybe play with lifting and lowering the floating leg. Lift the leg, keep it up, and teeter down towards a half moon. Little bend in your standing leg here. And then experiment with rotation around that hip. Oh, I'm going to fall over. Tip your hips down towards the floor and open them back up again. Again, being a little higher with the wall can feel really nice here, as well as coming down to your knees. So the main thing that we're exploring is stabilizing, building strength in our hip, and also some movement at the same time. We're finding some rotation in the joint, support across the hip girdle. Ooh. Give yourself a little challenge. This area of the body, this meridian of gallbladder, we're doing kind of liver gallbladder, is the place where we learn challenge. We learn to work with our challenges in a healthy way. And when you find that, that's where the confidence can come in. You can prove to yourself something. You also have a sense of the proper boundaries, and you can then see a clearer path forward. That's all wood, and that's coming. It's spring now, or we're moving towards spring. Okay, I'm burning. Maybe you are too. When you're ready, come on out of it. Come on down. And we'll step the left foot out to the side for our liver pullbacks. So left toes are pointing straight ahead, a soft bend in your knee, and then sit back towards your back heel and pull forward again. Beautiful. Moving into our researching mindset, notice your pelvis. And what is its tendency? And then what do you want to explore, push against a little bit, or play with? You can keep going with what you're doing if that feels really good for you. Otherwise, another little strength challenge, keep your leg extended to the side and pick it up. And then put it back down. Nice. Try it again, pick it up and put it down. Pick it up, sweep it all the way behind you. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Round your spine, take a breath here. Find a little restriction through the throat if that's of interest, and exhale to extend your spine, sending the leg back. Bring it in and squeeze it into extension. I'm going to go one more time. You do you. And release when you're ready. Come on down to your belly. starting out in a Sphinx just to feel. And yeah, for today, let's do it a little differently. Take your left hand under your left shoulder, like onto the floor, and you can stretch your right arm out straight if that feels okay on your elbow and on your chest. So our left is going to help us. Pick up your left leg, and then as you palm the ground with both hands, but especially that straight arm, arc your left foot back behind you like a tail and look over your shoulder to the ceiling. And then come back down. We're stretching through our chest. Take advantage of the lungs. Lift the leg. Push your arm into the ground. And find your twist. So for this one, you may play a little bit with actually lifting your head and your chest as you're looking over your shoulder, looking to the ceiling, push into the ground, and find a little back extension, lifting your head up and away from the floor. Whoa, that really stretches down the forearm for me. Do what feels safe, what feels good for you here. Another option, especially if your elbow feels like it's hyperextended, we've done this before, you can bend the elbow and that will concentrate it more into the shoulder. Nice. Stay in the safe zone in your body. And take a break. Stack your hands, rest your forehead, bend your knees, and just do a slow windshield wiper of your legs side to side. Nice. And when you're ready, go to the other side. Take your right hand under your shoulder, extend your left arm out or bend it if you know that that would feel better for you. But find a way to engage across the front of your chest, picking up your right leg to help with the twist. Reach in a rainbow arc behind you. You can look over your right shoulder towards the sky and then spin it back down. Nice. There were so many right and left and words that I just shared. Once you get the main idea, get into the feel of the movement. And don't worry if it's exactly how I described it. Go with what feels good. Go towards what feels supportive. And then when you feel good with all that, go ahead and take a break again. You can stack your hands and rest your forehead and just reset the lower back. When you're ready, flip over so you're on your back. And to get that lightness in the hips and dust off the winter bones, we'll do a little more liver, a little more spring action. Option one here, lift your legs to a tabletop position. Make sure that your back feels okay. And then bring your hands to the insides of your legs somewhere. Your hands are going to be your helpers. Squeeze your legs together and use your hands to press them apart like you're coming towards a middle split. So a little different than kidney. In kidney, we usually keep the feet together and we rotate the knees out and in. In this liver one, we're just opening apart like a book and closing it back up again. If the bent knee is feeling okay and you want to explore another option, the only change is that you'll straighten your legs. So they'll go straight up towards the sky, and then you're pulling them apart while they continue to squeeze in towards your hands. Whenever I do work where I'm moving my legs with my arms, it's easy for my arms to get tired first. So if you're finding that you're starting to get a little tired, it's not, you don't have to do full resistance with the legs. So you could dial back that resistance a little bit. And you can also explore just a change in your hand position. So if the palms were facing in and you're pushing with the backs of your hands, if you just turn your hands the other way, it might give you a new way of working. Couple more times just to make sure we really got that liver invigorated. And then legs and arms to the sky and give us a Muppet dance. The best part of the entire class. Good. From there, cross your right thigh in front of your left and grab either your shins or, if you can, grab towards your feet. So shins or feet, we're bending the knees and drawing the feet towards our shoulders. So it's like an inverted shoelace. So the thighs are crossed, and then we're pulling the feet towards the shoulders. Keep kicking your legs away from you. And this should feel pretty sensational through the hips on the outside into our piriformis. You can do a little pulses here where the legs are kicking up and the arms are pulling them down and towards your chest or shoulders. A little pulse. If you find a sweet spot that just feels like sweet relief, you could hang out there, keep a little resistance between hands and legs, and you could teeter side to side. Good. Bring your legs back up. Give your arms and your hips a moment. And then cross your left thigh over right or whatever side you haven't done, and take the other side. Again, if you find a place where you want a little pit stop, you could hang out, keep it engaged, and rock or stir. And then release. Let your legs come down. Take all the effort out. Just let the floor support you. Let your body take shape in a way that just feels easy, comfy. And do a scan, just noticing what you notice now. Good. And if you're craving some additional movement, add it in. If there's something that you like to do in your practice or something's feeling really, I don't know, fun to try, nice. I feel these moments with less specific instruction and more space for you. These are really the key where you start to build the practice that you want and the relationship to your moving body that you want. As you are exploring, notice the moments when you're moving towards something of interest, and likely there is some sort of a resonance or like a feeling of yes in your body. When you're knowing that you want to move towards something, you will feel it somewhere in your being in a way that you know. So just notice if you have some information about that. And if you don't know, it's okay. We have to start somewhere. But that feeling that is all yours, it's your own personal feeling, that can help be a guide for you throughout this year as you're making decisions, as people are asking things of you, as you feel the movement and the momentum. Get familiar with the resonance of yes in your body. You can stay where you are for as long as you'd like. If you're ready to close the class in a more formal way, then bring some movement back in. And come into a position that feels like a nice way to close. Bringing your hands together, you can rub your palms. Cupping your hands over your eyes and bowing into yourself. Hatha Yoga Anushasanam. Here is where your practice begins. It's an honor and a joy to share with you today. Thank you. Thank you all. So fun to practice with you all today. I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Bye.